I been missing out the walk with the minute. I been building up the blocks like a man. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy he got a God. Oh my God, boy that boy on top. Sipping walk, make my heart stop. All these hoes, yeah my love my thigh. Yo, oh let go, put her on roll, put that on payroll, put that on go. Yeah she like to go, yeah she love to blow. Get that dick so, like a snow cone. Yo, get that bag, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, yeah I'm saying. Give me a minute, yeah, I need a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Cardi B and Pippin, Cardi B and kick the shit in, yeah, give me a minute, yeah.
All right, y'all can hear me now? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody said something, man. But hey, like I said, Billy, please don't laugh. Please don't laugh. You know, nobody should feel sorry right now for Chris Grier. Nobody should. He did this to himself. He definitely did, man. But hey, welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content. Go check out my merch, dgmerchandise.com. Help your boy out. We got some new merch on the way. So y'all look into that, please. Please help your boy. Please support. Right here, we got the press conference of Chris Grier. We're gonna see what he had to say. I ain't watched this at all. I seen it come out, but I wanted to wait to watch it with all you guys on stream, man. So please leave a like. But let's get straight into this, man. I'm surprised Chris Grier even came out today out of all days. Right after they said that they're gonna trade away Jalen Ramsey, Chris Grier, he up here talking. Billy said he waiting for 2026. That's what Billy said. Hey, I'm doing the same thing. I cannot be a fan of another team. I can't do it. I don't got the heart to do that. I don't. I gotta remain a Dolphin fan. Gots to.
I just found the perfect ecom manager on Fiverr.
Hire a freelancer today and start your own success story.
These ads, man, crazy.
Taxes was feeling so stuck.
Well,
Chris,
Hey, Chris Grier, he getting old, man. Chris Grier getting old. I never seen him with a gray goatee. Never seen him with that, man. Maybe it's the fan base. We stressing him out too much. He going through it right now. Chris Grier going through it right now, man.
I offered Perkins and my colleagues $1 each to ask the first two questions unrelated.
Sorry for it. Before we get going, I know, and I'll get back to you right after. But just first, good afternoon. But wanted to address obviously the news of the day that people will be curious about with regarding Jalen Ramsey. So really, after a couple of weeks of discussions between ourselves internally and Jalen and his representation, we decided that it was probably in the best interest for all parties to move forward. So I will say these decisions aren't done quickly, and they're not taken lightly because we spent a lot of time this off season working through this, talking through things. At the end of the day, Jalen did not ask for a trade. So we went through the process and just felt that after numerous conversations and then talking last week with Jalen and his agent, that it was best to move forward and it was best interest of the Miami.
I think he lying, man. I think he lying. And Jalen had to say something, man. He had to say something. He had to.
Dolphins and for Jalen Ramsey. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Do you expect to trade him before the draft for a draft pick and other assets?
I don't know. Trades come together at all different times. You've seen from before the draft, day of the draft, during the draft. Like I think AJ Brown was during the draft. It happened. When it happens, it'll happen. And if it doesn't, we'll deal with it then.
So Jalen Ramsey probably going to be a Dolphin for 9 more days. If anything, he will get traded on draft day. So if nothing happens today or tomorrow, it will probably happen during the draft. Jalen Ramsey, he will be gone. I did put up a tweet in regards to the teams that I think will have some interest in Jalen Ramsey. Commanders, him and Marshawn Lattimore, perfect pairing over there. Ravens, him and who's the other cornerback? Marlon Humphrey. He has high praise for Lamar Jackson. Very high praise for Lamar Jackson. So I think he wouldn't mind going to Baltimore. He seemed like a Baltimore type guy. Definitely does. Bengals, I could see him going to the Bengals, going to a team with established quarterback, Joe Burrow. I could definitely see that. They got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they straight. Falcons, he could reconnect with his old defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris. So that would be a good destination. Him on the other side of, what's the other quarterback name? AJ Terrell. Rams, he could make a comeback to the Rams. Him and Sean McVay, they still got Matthew Stafford. Now they got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. The same, if not better, than Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. So I don't think that Jalen Ramsey wouldn't be opposed to going back to the Rams. He probably got some real estate over there as well. Probably does. Chargers, him and Derwin James. Derwin James probably recruiting him to go over there. Right now they don't really got a cornerback in the room. No Asante Samuel, no Christian Fulton. So they definitely need a presence on the Chargers. They need somebody like Jalen Ramsey. I think we could get a third for Jalen Ramsey. I'm not going to lie. I think we could get a third because these teams, it seems like they're desperate for a cornerback, but at the same time, we obviously let the whole NFL know that we're willing to let go of Jalen Ramsey. So that kind of like evens out the playing field in regards to what we could get and what a team could get for Jalen Ramsey. Broncos, you know, they got Bo Nix, him and Patrick Surtain. Man, that might be a Super Bowl team. That might be a Super Bowl team, and we know the Broncos defense is a pretty good defense. And then we know Sean Payton, he gonna fix that offense to be even better than last year. So Broncos is a sleeper team that could make the move. You know, a rookie quarterback, and he's actually not that bad. I didn't say the Bears because they pretty much set at cornerback. You know, they got a rookie quarterback, so you would want a veteran cornerback who might ask for a lot of money to be on that team. So in my opinion, I think it's the Ravens, man. The Ravens or the Commanders out of those two teams. Let me see what Billy's saying. Coach Gruden time is my Super Bowl. I don't know if he's going to leave Barstool. I don't know about that. He might stay over there. He getting that bag with them. The draft will show us the last thing we need to see about Chris Grier. Hey, this is Chris Grier last draft, I think. It could be. We have experience of reading between the lies, spins. Hey, now I can see straight through it, man. I can see straight through it. Ravens or Chargers is my guess. Hey, every team on this list, I think they would be interested. You know, I'm pretty sure that the Dolphins getting phone calls from all of these teams. Pretty sure about it. Isn't Ramsey from Tennessee? Hey, he might make it back to the Titans. Who knows? But they got L'Jarius Sneed, but they could definitely pair him up on the other side with Jalen Ramsey. That would be a good duo right there. A good duo. Maybe Grier cooking up that Cam Ward trade. No way. I doubt it. If Chris Grier could cook up something like that, if he could do that, okay, I give him props. I give Chris Grier props if he does that. Yeah, that seems impossible at this point. Seems impossible. Him and Derwin James. That's what I'm saying. The Chargers could be an option. I know Derwin James hitting his phone right now. You know, probably every day at this point. Ever since he heard the news, he probably hitting Jalen Ramsey up. Hey, let's make it happen. Coming to LA. You know, them boys, they don't got no DBs over there with the Chargers. No DBs. I could check out the roster real quick. See what they got. So, hey, Jalen Ramsey, he might end up in LA. Cornerbacks, Asante Samuel, he not there. Benjamin St. Juice, I think he just signed this year. Dante Jackson, you know, so Jalen Ramsey, he'll be a good fit. He'll definitely be a good fit here. You know, they definitely need cornerback help. Dante Jackson, he not a cornerback number one. Benjamin St. Juice, not a cornerback number one. You know, you bring Jalen Ramsey into this room, you automatically push these guys to cornerback 2 and 3. And that's perfect right there. So Chargers, they might make a push. You know, there's a lot of teams that are going to be fighting for Jalen Ramsey. So I think we could get a third for him. That's what I think. But let's get back to Chris Grier. See what he said about Jalen Ramsey.
My other quick thing for you, I was just really curious the past couple of months. Why did you decide not to restructure to create $19 million and use that to sign the best possible trench players, defensive tackles, offensive linemen? Obviously, you had the Daniels.
Good question.
And make sure you have the best possible trench play on both lines. Why was that decision made not to restructure to create that money?
Yeah, we decided we just felt we didn't need to. I think James and the player were very happy to get. We're still working through things roster-wise and with the draft.
You sure you didn't need to? You sure? It looked like we tanking this year, Chris Grier. That's what it looked like.
Approaching, I would say, the strength of the draft this year aligns with where our needs are, where people would say our needs are. So um, from that perspective, we just felt that there was no need to restructure Tua and touch the contract, and that we could operate and keep building the team, and that whole process will continue through the draft like it always does with the June 1st and all that, and we've done that throughout the years here.
Did Jalen want a salary adjustment?
No, he's not.
So if you didn't ask for a trade and you didn't want more money, why is this happening?
Really, those discussions I'll keep internally. I'm not going to get
What?
out there and talk about it, but we had a lot of discussions on it, and from both sides, and at the end of the day, we felt this is what was best for the Dolphins and for Jalen.
Hey, Chris Grier, bro, count your days, bro. Count your days. This is not a threat. This is not a threat. But still, man, come on, do better, bro. Do better. You think we're gonna be better without Jalen Ramsey? Are you crazy? Hey, something gotta be going on with Chris Grier, bro. I don't know what it is, dog. I do not know what it is, man. Embarrassing. This is Asante Samuel. This is what he said. He may not agree with me, but I bet he would be more productive as a safety at this point of his career. His numbers will go crazy. Thank me later. So Asante Samuel, a legend, a senior, he's saying that Jalen Ramsey should change to safety. We kind of see that Jalen Ramsey, he's regressing, but he's still a good cornerback, a very good cornerback. But sometimes you wonder, hey, maybe safety is a better spot. Sometimes when a cornerback slow down, you kind of think about putting them at safety so they don't have to worry about being the fastest player on the field. So that could be a possibility, but Jalen Ramsey, he already plays like a safety. He could go in the box and tackle. He could cover you one-on-one on the island. He the jack of all trades, man. That's why you want a player like this still on your team. But like, who we gonna have at cornerback? We don't have no cornerback number one. If you're going into a season and you don't even know who your cornerback number one gonna be, that's a problem. That's a problem. Most definitely, man. Like, this seemed like it was yesterday.
Best cornerback duo in the
Like, I don't know what happened, bro. We arguably had the best cornerback duo just like, 1 or 2 years ago. Now it's done. Gone. Nowhere to be found. I remember we used to have Byron Jones, Xavier Howard. That ain't work out. Not even for 1 year. Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard. That ain't even work out for 1 year. Now we don't even got Jalen Ramsey no more.
Being able to come to Miami, play with this team, got the best cornerback duo in the league now. We're going to do some special things, man. We're going to put in the work and we're going to do some special things.
Not no more.
Being able to come to Miami, play with this team.
Not no more.
Got the best cornerback duo in the league now. We're going to do some special things, man. We're going to put in the work and we're going to do some special things. Being able to come to Miami, play with this
You know
team,
what? Like,
got the best cornerback.
At this point, I'll take Xavier Howard back. I'll take Xavier Howard back, man, just so we have some type of stability on this team, man. Some type of stability. I'm about to pull up the depth chart at corner and safety. So without Jalen Ramsey, now we only have Cater Cole, we all know Cater Cole, he a slot cornerback. He not no man-on-man island cornerback. He not that. Ethan Bonner, he not that. Nick Needham, we ain't bring him back. Artie Burns. That's why we brought Artie Burns here, because of Jalen Ramsey leaving. That's why. Storm Duck. Can Cam Smith live up to the potential that we thought that he had? Can he? We'll never know. Ryan Cooper Jr., he ain't nothing too crazy. Like nobody gonna add up to Jalen Ramsey. Nobody gonna add up to Jalen Ramsey. To be honest, man. So what's your answer to this, Chris Grier? How you gonna fix this? How you gonna fix this? Let me see. Let me get to y'all comments real quick. Fascinating. Agree, hella crazy. I don't know, man. Chris looking comfy. You know, Chris Grier, he chilling right now. He chilling. He don't care about our feelings. He don't. Grier's body language said because I feel like he don't care no more. I could tell. He just don't care. You know, this is his last year. If go bad, he know it. He know it. A problem that the draft can fix, but you just gotta make sure you make the right picks. But we can't trust Chris Grier with that as well. We can't. Only thing free agents work is the cap. X was getting burnt weekly, you know. But at the same time, I'm expecting that from this cornerback room. We're gonna get burnt weekly with these guys. We definitely gonna get burnt weekly without Jalen Ramsey in this room. You know, having Jalen Ramsey in this cornerback room makes all these other guys look better. And now they look worse to me because I know we don't have somebody who could hold down one side of the field. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I agree. Let's get Howard back, man. I don't know if y'all watched the Dive Bar podcast. Xavier Howard, he pulled up to that podcast and said that he's ready. You know, a couple teams were interested, but they weren't willing to pay his injury settlement just in case if he got injured, they wouldn't pay it. So Xavier Howard, he ain't signed nowhere last year. He's still available at the current moment. You know, he said he still got Chris Grier number locked in, but Chris Grier ain't call him. He ain't call Chris Grier. That's what Xavier Howard said. That's what he said. Y'all love circling back and have the nerve to be pissed at the Dolphins. Hey, I'm just saying though, and I know Xavier Howard not coming back here, but I'm just saying that in the fact of it, Jalen Ramsey, he not here. You know, at least can we at least have one of them? I thought we were gonna be good with Jalen Ramsey. I thought he gonna hold it down and retire in Miami. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, man.
Duo in the league now. We're gonna do some special things, man. We're gonna put in the work and we're gonna do some special things.
Ain't nothing special happen. Ain't nothing special happen, man. You know, Jalen Ramsey, I put you heavy, bro. I do. You my dog, man. One of my favorite cornerbacks. You know, no bad blood against Jalen Ramsey, but it just seems like all the mistakes caught up to Chris Grier. Now he's suffering from the consequences. Everything bad that you do will come back to bite you. Everything, man. Karma is real. Karma is real. All right, here we got a play of our beloved Jalen Ramsey. This is him right here. No, this is a veteran move right here. A veteran move right here. Ooh, nice dip. And he got the tackle. Love that right there. Love that right there. You know, a lot of DBs, they going to think that they big enough to go up against an old lineman. You know, but Jalen Ramsey, he going to be smooth with it. You know what? I'm not going to touch you. I'm just going to get lower than you, still make the tackle. You know, that's why you love seeing Jalen Ramsey in the box. You know, you see plays like this, you might think like, hey, maybe safety can work for Jalen. You know, but at the same time, you can see a play like this and know like he could play anywhere on the field, no matter what. He can. You know, top 3 teams, like I told y'all, Chargers, Ravens, Commanders. Those are teams I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to miss Jalen Ramsey, man. Definitely going to miss him. Like, who gonna be the dog in the room now? Who is it gonna be? Who?
Unfortunately,
Y'all remember when Jalen Ramsey got hurt? You know, we ain't even get to see him for half the year. So we got Jalen Ramsey for a year and a half. That's it. That's it. Chris Grier needs to hit off these draft picks. Hey, it's all or nothing at this point. All or nothing. Talk is cheap. Let your play speak for yourself. Oh, yeah, that's real. That's real, Billy. No cap. You know, we got training camp to see. We got training camp. I say trade down to get more picks in the second round. Shoot, how much picks you want this year? I think we had like, what, 8 or 9? Maybe 10? I think.
on Jalen Ramsey. This is a very hard thing to return to play from.
No copyright. Like, you know Jalen Ramsey, he a hard worker. You know he love football. You know, back in the day, you would be concerned with like Jalen Ramsey off the field. Now he more mature. You know, he got kids. You know, he a man now. You know, but he handling business every day. You know, there's not a day that I think that Jalen Ramsey not handling business. You know, he holds himself to a higher standard, and that's why I fuck with him heavy. Out until December, man. It seems like we ain't get our money's worth. Man, Jalen Ramsey with the Dolphins was supposed to be a beautiful thing, man. It turned into a nightmare. Another pairing we might see Jalen Ramsey, Micah Parsons. Could you see Jalen Ramsey with the Cowboys? You know, Trayvon Diggs on one side, Jalen Ramsey on the other, and you have Deron Bland at the slot. Come on, man. Can't say no to that. Cannot say no to that. That would be a crazy defense. Micah Parsons and Jalen Ramsey? Man. That would be wild. No, but it seems like the Cowboys, they got faith in Deron Bland, so I don't think they will make that move. I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. They could make that move, man. They could make that move. But like I'm saying, Jalen Ramsey has a lot of options. The market is not slow for Jalen Ramsey. Even though he's an older player now, you know, not his old self. You know, I think Jalen Ramsey could help a team win a Super Bowl. Like the right team. He could definitely help them win a Super Bowl. Right here, we got Mike McDaniel talking about that one play against the Jaguars. You know, that Jalen Ramsey looked his best. You know, let me get to y'all comments real quick. I think they might trade Ramsey for a draft pick. Shoot, let's get at least 2. I take a 3rd and a 5th, 3rd and a 4th. I take that. I'll take that. I think Ramsey knows the Dolphins need help. That's why he wants out, because there's no dogs on the team. You know, he's going to be the only dog. You know, Zach Wilson, that ain't moved the needle for the locker room. Like, who the hell is that? You know, them boys wanted Geno Smith. They wanted like somebody of a higher caliber. That's what they wanted. We never get our money worth. That's facts. Definitely facts. We just wasting these guys' years here. You know, I wouldn't say we wasted it, because I know they enjoy Miami off the field, but it seemed like they enjoyed Miami too much off the field, and then when it comes to on the field, the focus is not all the way there because of all the distractions in Miami. So that's why it's very important to get the right guys in Miami, build the best culture that would fit the Miami culture. You know, you don't want to be exactly like the Miami culture. You know, I feel like Mike McDaniel fits exactly into what you would want as a head coach in Miami, but he's not the best fit. You know, we need a head coach like Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick over here. You know, when they're in the locker room, you know, they're scared of the coach to the point where they're scared to even go out when they leave the locker room. You know, I feel like Bill Belichick definitely installed that into his players, you know, and Mike McDaniel probably not doing the same thing. You know, Mike McDaniel, he probably run into the players at the strip club. You never know. You never know. Mike McDaniel seemed like one of those type of guys, man. You do.
As you rewind it, you look at one of the things that Kendall Fuller is so great at.
Jalen Ramsey right here. Look what he does on this one. Look what he does.
Is being an instinctive football player. And right here, when this happens, you see one guy, like, who's going to set the force on this play? And he wastes no time, doesn't even track the ball.
See, like, this is a veteran move right here.
Doesn't even track the ball and make sure that the field is compressed. And then you look at all these guys running the ball. You look at the guy that stopped the ball from going left or defensive right, tracking through people to protect the line of scrimmage.
You know, I would expect that from a rookie, trying to show the coaches that he's a good player. But Jalen Ramsey, you know, he a veteran and he's still out here hustling like it's his last play. Still out here doing it, man. So that's why I got a lot of respect for Jalen. A lot of respect.
Important.
Here's Jalen after the extension that he got. Just got an extension. Now he gone. We just throwing money left and right. Left and right. Nonsense, man. Crazy.
Feel value, first of all, you know what I'm saying, and get get paid for all your hard work and dedication and sacrifices and everything that you put into an organization. Then them, reward you with it. So it's always important, obviously. There's money, and I got kids, and my kids is happy, and family happy, so it's all good.
What does it say about your relationship with this organization and the trust they have in you?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I've gotten here, I feel like it's been a great relationship. It's been a growing relationship. They've learned a lot about me, who I am as not only the player but the person. Insane. Like I've learned a lot about them and how real they are, and the men and women we have around this organization. So it's been nice. I mean, it's all
sad, man. Sad watching that. If I was here during this practice, if I was here, man, I would have ran onto the field, make sure whatever Mike McDaniel telling them, don't say it, don't listen to him. Do not listen to him. He gonna run you out the city, man. Look, both of these players gone now. Both of these players are gone. I wonder what Mike McDaniel could have said to Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey to the point where now both of them boys not even on the team no more. I wonder what it could be. Like, I'm pretty sure them boys heard Mike McDaniel like, yeah, we done. We ain't doing nothing over here, man. We can't take this boy serious, bro. We can't. Like, I bet you if Mike McDaniel told them boys to go run 10 gassers, the one's like, man, get out my face, man. What you talking about? You can't tell me what to do. I promise you, bro. I promise you. Like half of these players on this team not listening to Mike McDaniel if he told them to do something. Promise you. Bro, I would have called police to hear. Hey, police, over there, look. Look, he shouldn't be talking to them. Stop it before it's too late. For real, man. Man, Miami Dolphins, we something special, dog. We something special. Right here, we got another play. Jalen Ramsey. He's right here. Check this out. Boom. Jalen Ramsey laying that wood, man. But y'all see what they saying in regards to him maybe playing safety? Bah. He could do it. He could definitely do it. I remember this game. We blew them boys out. Bah. Good hit. I love that hit right there. You know, now we're not going to have this. Who going to lay that wood now? Who going to lay that wood now, man? Who?
Damn, this guy's good. The best one you've played against.
All right, here they're going to ask Jalen Ramsey who's the best quarterback he played against. Y'all love splashy signings that never amount to beating Buffalo. You know, this team, I feel like when we draft, we don't think about Buffalo. We don't. You know, last year we kind of did, but it ain't work out. We ain't get the right players. Sounds like Coach Gruden to me. Coach Gruden, you know, you could play around with him a little bit, but sometimes when he's serious, he's serious. You know, I feel like there's more discipline there with Gruden compared to Mike McDaniel. Way more discipline. We need a strict coach, show up late, no play time. You know, a lot of people are not brave enough to do that with Tyreek because he's the best player on the team. But I feel like Mike Tomlin, maybe Gruden, could be able to do that. Gruden, he couldn't handle AB. So I don't know if he would be able to handle Tyreek Hill. I don't know. Number 29 did his thing. Yeah, shout out to Kendall Fuller. Definitely did. Definitely. They were talking about the party last night. What party? What party? Oh, you talking about, Mike McDaniel, Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey? Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Best quarterback you've played against that you're like, damn, this guy's good. The best one you've played against.
As far as talent or just overall? Overall, it's Tom, easy.
Yeah, but talent in the game where you're like, this guy's on.
Mahomes. Talent?
Yeah.
Mahomes. Mahomes like that, but I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I might be a little biased because they blew us out, but Lamar Jackson. He is so tough. He tough.
That's cool.
It's one thing to say somebody good, but when you say somebody tough, that's a whole nother stratosphere. When somebody say you tough, that means you tough, like you hard. Like you probably the best player in all the NFL. So Jalen Ramsey, it seems like he got love for Lamar Jackson. So Ravens, it seems like that's the number one spot. The number one spot. If they can't get Jair Alexander, they'll probably try to target Jalen Ramsey. That's my belief. Because Jair Alexander, you know, he used to be teammates with Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson probably talking to Harbaugh saying, hey, bring my homeboy in here. Now that they know that Jalen Ramsey, he's available, they might try to target Jalen Ramsey because he'll come at a cheaper cost than them trying to go get Jair Alexander. I think Jair Alexander going for a first or an early second. Jalen Ramsey at this current point, he could probably go for a third. You know, so there's more value in regards to getting Jalen Ramsey compared to Jair Alexander. You know, but hey, maybe we could get Jair Alexander with Jalen Ramsey wanting to be out. Would he want to go to the Green Bay Packers in a trade? Could that be possible? Who knows? Right here, we got clips of Cam Smith. We're going to see if Cam Smith could hold up for the Miami Dolphins this year. We're going to watch some good clips of him, you know, reminisce on the highlights that Cam Smith showed us. We're going to reminisce on that. Right here, we got the Falcons. Nice little play action. Good pass deflection by Cam Smith. You know, like Cam Smith, he make a lot of plays like this, just like this. He makes a lot of plays. jump, boom, got the ball out. You know, he got pretty good speed. Pretty good speed. He's not the fastest of cornerbacks, but I can see him being a good outside cornerback in the future. Good to average outside cornerback. You know, he just hasn't shown us anything yet. You know, if he ends up being cornerback 1 this year, then we just gonna have to hold it down with Cam Smith, man. We just gonna have to hold it down with Cam Smith. Even though we probably don't think that he ready, he has to be ready now. You know, I know he's smiling right now, but it's gonna be hard, bro. Each week you're gonna have to see the best receiver. Are you ready for that, Cam Smith? Are you ready? You know, Jalen Ramsey, he was doing this ever since what year Ramsey got drafted? We're like 15, 13, something like that. He been doing it for a long time. You just started, technically. You just started, man. You know, so I think Cam Smith, he probably gonna go through growing pains with the Dolphins, trying to cover the best receiver week in and week out. You know, but once he starts getting used to all the receivers that he's gonna see, once he sees the best of the best, you know, he's gonna be an okay cornerback. You know, but this year I feel like, you know, he gonna have some good games, but he gonna have some bad games as well. It might be 50-50. Who knows? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But hopefully Cam Smith working. You know, we haven't seen no workout videos of Cam Smith, no nothing. No nothing. I know he hear what y'all be saying about him on Twitter. Y'all be talking trash about Cam Smith like he not like that. Y'all really do. You know, but we don't know yet. We don't know. We see Cam Smith make plays in the preseason. We see him make plays in practice sometimes. You know, we just want to see it during the game now. You just want to see it during the game. Here we have another play of Jalen Ramsey. Where he at? Now that's Anthony Walker. Oh yeah, Jalen Ramsey's right here off the edge. You know, we did this a lot with Jalen Ramsey. Sure, I don't know, Jalen. You know, that safety might be good for you. That safety slash cornerback. You know, but if he goes to a team where there's another good cornerback on the other side of him, then he'll be all right. You know, last year we had Kendall Fuller, so we could do this a lot with Jalen Ramsey, but, you know, we could definitely maximize Jalen Ramsey's potential by pairing him up with a top-tier cornerback, a 1A, 1B type of situation, not just Jalen Ramsey being the best cornerback. You know, so if he goes to the Packers, you know, it's 1A, 1B. You know, if he goes to the Ravens, I feel like he's going to be the best cornerback, but, you know, Marlon Humphrey, he's going to be up there. He's going to be up there. If you go to the Commanders, 1A, 1B, Marshawn Lattimore, him. You know, if he goes to some place and he's the best cornerback and everybody else still got to learn, then I don't think you're gonna get the best out of Jalen Ramsey. But I feel like if you put him in a position where the safety's good, the cornerback's good, the whole defense good, he gonna maximize the potential of anybody's defense. You know, as of right now, the Dolphins, we just not equipped enough to maximize what Jalen Ramsey could do for us. So, you know, even though we don't want to admit it, you know, it was time for us to let go of Jalen Ramsey. You know, we see what's coming. We see it. We can't deny it now. We can't deny it now, man. And shout out to Jalen. We're going to miss you, bro. We're going to miss you.
I don't know when it's going to be. You know what, I don't know under what terms it can, but at some point, me and Derwin will play on the same team again.
Jalen Ramsey, he said this a few years ago. Him and Derwin James will play on the same team again. That's what he said.
Little brother. I had to let the people know me and Derwin will link again in our NFL career, some way, shape, or form. We will. We 1,000% will. 50
years old, you gonna sign to his team?
I do not care. One way or another, me and Derwin will play together in the NFL. I don't know when it's gonna.
That means the Chargers. That means the Chargers. Who knows? But like I said, I feel like Commanders, they're gonna put up a good fight. Ravens, good fight. Bengals, good fight. You know, there's gonna be a lot of teams, man, interested. But he want to play with his brother, Derwin James. A few years ago, I forgot how old this is. 2019, he said this. 2019, we in 2025, so maybe dreams do come true. Maybe dreams do come true. Let me get to some of y'all comments. Hopefully Cam Smith improved and ready to go. Hopefully, man. You know, I'm definitely watching during training camp and see what he do. Most definitely. If they believed in Cam Smith, he would have been started. I think he's a bust, but we got to let the young guys play. You know, we're going to put competition in there. You know, if he can't win the job with the rookie cornerbacks that we're going to bring in, then, yeah, he a bust. But if Cam Smith go out there, ends up being cornerback number one, then okay. We could still consider him a bust, but he was good enough to beat out all the other guys in the locker room at cornerback to become a starter. So that should be a good sign right there in regards to Cam Smith being that guy. A very good sign. He spoke it into existence. You know, this is kind of strange to me that this came out of nowhere. Right after Jalen Ramsey said, not Jalen Ramsey, but Chris Grier said that Jalen Ramsey will be traded. Somebody come out and post this.
I don't know when it's gonna be. You know what? I don't know under what terms it can. But at some point, me and Derwin will play on the same team again. My little brother.
My little brother.
No, me and Derwin will link.
That my little brother. That my little brother.
Again in our NFL career, some way, shape, or form. We will. We 1,000% will.
50 years old, you gonna sign to his team?
I do not care. One way or another, me and Derwin will play together in the NFL.
Shoot, I'll put money on the Chargers now. Now that he said this a few years ago, I'll put money on the Chargers. I'll definitely put money.
Essentially, here we are. Yeah, a new mega contract for Jalen Ramsey just 1 year later now. Essentially, here we are. It feels like, Tom, the best way to sum this up is this relationship has run its course, right? I mean, it was kind of a whirlwind romance, if you would describe it like that, a big-time trade to great fanfare from the Los Angeles Rams, who also acquired Ramsey in a big trade to great fanfare, had a ton of success. Ramsey, one of the best players in the NFL over the course of the last decade at his position, showed up there, unfortunately got injured, but really was an incredible person in that team during the time of his injury, ended up getting healthy, got that huge new deal, fast forward a year, and after several meetings, after several conversations, the determination was made by Ramsey and his people and the Dolphins and their people to move forward and try to seek a trade. Now, there's no guarantee that Ramsey will be traded, as Chris Grier said.
What? No, it's going to happen. No way it doesn't happen. I'll be shocked if it gets reversed. I'll be shocked.
If he's not traded, they'll figure it out. He's due $25 million fully guaranteed. $4 million has already been paid. So a team acquiring him would only acquire $21 million fully guaranteed. But certainly there is at least going to be a market.
Crazy, man. I can't believe it.
Move on from receiver Tyreek Hill. They apparently will be moving on from cornerback Jalen Ramsey. NFL media reports that both sides will explore trade options. He's already gotten a $4 million roster bonus for this year, and he's owed another $21.1 million. He's 31, best days behind him. That's a little rich. That's
and
a little rich.
They gave him a new extension last year, right? that put him back up towards the top of the market. And again,
after Patrick Surtain.
I just want because I haven't researched
right after
all
Patrick
this because
Surtain got his.
No, right, exactly. Why? What? Why? You talk about doing dumb things as a football team.
Don't say.
Man, he about to go crazy on the Dolphins, man. He about to go crazy on the Dolphins. You know, Christian, he got some vendetta against the Dolphins, man. I don't know why.
The thing you said during the break about what the Dolphins are.
Well, yes, they like their stars, and their stars like to give it back to them. Okay, they like their stars, and they do anything for them, and then their stars screw them over because they're so get a star. Who the hell cares about the team? Let's just get a star. That's what they seem like. That it is, and then the meat and potatoes of their team is the part that's suffering. And then you wonder why they can't win a tough, close, physical football game. It's because, your team's all about South Florida stars power. That's all it's about. So that's the issue there. Yes, that was dumb to re-extend him. He's no longer one of the top 5 corners in football. He hasn't been for a while. He's a good secondary player. Yeah. But, he's not lock him down, Patrick Surtain, Sauce Gardner, right? The guy, Derek Stingley down in Houston. Nowhere. Not even in the same stratosphere as them as covering a receiver. So, he
the 3rd highest paid cornerback? And now he gone, man. Now he gone. One of these guys got to be a Dolphin. Somehow, some way. You know, if you want to be a good team, you got to have at least one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL top 10. At least one. You know, at one point we had 2. At one point we had Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard on this list. At one point, because we knew cornerback is important. But now we're not going to have no cornerback on this list. We're hoping that Cam Smith has the potential to be a cornerback that could be put on this list, but we haven't seen anything yet. So these next few years, man, as a Dolphin fan, is not looking too good. Not looking too good. Season ticket holders, brace yourself. It's about to get crazy. Yeah, Chris Sims definitely speaking facts, man. Definitely speaking facts.
That to me is crazy. It's crazy that he's that high on the list. And again, it's just crazy. The Dolphins are full of bad contracts, and this is why they're in a predicament right now. What happened here? In 1 year, he was the best secondary player in football, and in 1 year, now we don't want each other anymore. That's what I'm interested to find out
bro. Here. So we just throwing out money just like that, and we're not keeping the players? That's what we're doing now, Chris Grier? That's what we're doing?
Patrick Surtain got his extension with a new money average of $24 million during training camp just before the start of the season.
The NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Right.
And right after that, days after that, here comes Jalen Ramsey at just a little tick above. That's a vanity contract.
That's crazy. So Patrick Surtain, he got Defensive Player of the Year. The day right after that, that's when we extended Jalen Ramsey. Even though Patrick Surtain went out there and did what he did. You know, but hey, Jalen Ramsey, like I told y'all, it seems like he has the upper hand on management based off his resume, what he did in the NFL before. It seemed like they'll follow whatever Jalen Ramsey command is. You know, at the moment, he was probably the best defensive player on defense. He probably was. So, you know, whatever he said, go. Whatever he said, go. He could definitely convince you in regards to him being a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. Even though he's not playing up to his old standards, he still is a good cornerback. He still is.
Time you see somebody come in that little bit above the last guy, that's for the ego of the player, the ego of the agent, or both. That, it's got to be just right. And you look at the contract and you look at how many years are left and where the guarantees are, and it really is amazing to me that they'd be considering a trade now when they have paid him the and it looks I need to research this a little bit more because based on what I'm looking at Spot Rack, that the 21.1 million might have done a restructuring, which makes it even more ridiculous that they'd be trying to trade him now. They've already paid him more than $4 million if they did indeed restructure the contract. But I'm getting the impression, looking at this, that they have restructured the deal,
which is going to be right.
Which, if that's true, that's not good for the Dolphins to be trading him now. It just makes you wonder what the hell happened. It makes you wonder how we got here.
Yes.
And we were talking about this during the break as well. All due respect to Jalen Ramsey. And from a business standpoint, I mean, we praise guys like Kirk Cousins. Jalen Ramsey's done a great job of getting paid. How long has it been since he was truly a top-end corner?
Well, I know. I mean, I got dragged
I'd say the year that he won the Super Bowl. The year that he won the Super Bowl with the Rams. That probably had to be the year. But he was getting cooked that year. I'm not going to lie. He was getting cooked.
Last time, right, by a few guys in the NFL when I said, man, like Jalen Ramsey's not even a top 3 or 5 corner anymore when he went from the Rams to the Dolphins. Remember Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay? They kind of came at me on social media, and I was like, nah, the top corner in football doesn't get traded for a 3rd-round pick. I'm sorry. That just doesn't happen. No way. At no point. So, they were wrong about that, and they can eat it as far as that conversation is concerned. But, yeah, his end at the Rams, you've heard me say this.
That's a good point. If you're a top-tier cornerback, you're not getting traded for a 3rd-round pick. Jalen Ramsey, he about to go for a 3rd or 4th again. A 3rd or 4th again.
You've heard other people say this. His last year at the Rams, year and a half, he was the guy when people saw him outside, they were like, we're going to go after him. Right? Tom Brady in the divisional game that year, like Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins during the Super Bowl. He was the guy they looked at to go, I like that matchup. That's what's crazy. It is. He's a good tackler. He's a good player. He's an awesome secondary hybrid type of guy. But he's not the guy you make the highest paid corner in football. That you don't do. That's bad business by Miami, and that's just, they're in a predicament that way.
Aaron Donald saved him from being the GOAT of GOATs in Super Bowl 56. He fell down on what would have been go-ahead touchdown, long pass to Jamar Chase. Aaron Donald got through to Joe Burrow before Burrow could get rid of the ball. He fell down. And look, that happens, but he would have been, I mean, if that's how that Super Bowl would have played out, a long touchdown pass from Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase after Jalen Ramsey fell down.
Yeah, they would have won.
That'd be one of those highlights we see every time we talk about Super Bowl 56. It'd come around every year. How that dramatic moment that Jalen Ramsey fell down trying to cover Jamar Chase in the play of his life, and Aaron Donald bailed him out. So
it's going to be interesting what that contract situation is, and because this is breaking news, we didn't get the chance to really diligently look it all up. But yeah, did they convert some stuff here? Now where if they do trade him, it's going to be a huge hit on their cap. Which also could make it more better. The team might want to trade for him knowing, hey, okay, you guys have paid him. That's good. And maybe that helps the situation out. But I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the best thing for the Dolphins.
I got to go back to the original breakdown we did last year when he did the contract. But I'm looking at the base salary that SpotRack has listed at $1.255. That tells me they've restructured down to the minimum, and they've kicked the can on the...
Such a Chris Grier move. Damn. So Jalen Ramsey, he was supposed to make 1.1 mil a year this year. That's wild, man. That is wild. Chris Grier, count your days, man. Count your days.
The other salary he was due to make this year, you turn it into a bonus, you spread it over multiple years. But if you're already paid that money, what do you do? And I guess it does make it easier to trade him, but holy shit, it drives up the cap charge if you trade him before June 1. And I'm just looking at some of these numbers that are out there for what he's already gotten, Chris.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, I think it was an option bonus that got prorated. I think that's what it was. But regardless, you're going to have some massive cap charges, especially if he's traded before June 1, because it's all going to hit this year if they've paid him the bulk of his money for 2025. And it just makes you wonder how we got to this point. How did this happen? That all of a sudden, this late, relatively speaking, in the offseason, we've gotten past the start of the new league year. We've gotten past free agency. And now, boom, Jalen Ramsey's available. I don't
That's odd in itself. You're right.
Who's going to be interested?
He was just sitting watching in regards to the moves that we were making free agency, and he didn't like the moves in free agency. He didn't. Now he want to be gone. That's it.
Him at this point. Who's going to say, especially a week before the draft, oh, well, we're considering the high-end corners, but we can get Jalen Ramsey? Who's going to say that?
I don't think that this will be, we go through the draft, then we reevaluate where we are, and then we talk to the Dolphins is what I would expect. But I'm with you with that. I think it's really odd. The timing of it's odd. I don't know what went down, but yeah, it has the look, and I'm not saying I'm right here.
Plus, at the same time, now we're seeing Jalen Ramsey is being explored for trades. It happened right after Teron Armstead retired. Calais Campbell, he signed with another team. Who else is not here? Durham Smythe, he on the Bears. As soon as everybody started leaving and the team does not look the same, Jalen Ramsey like, yeah, I'm done. This team not going to do nothing.
It has the look of a guy that's going, wait, I don't like the way things look here as this team and what's going on and all that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to be here anymore for all this, right? Nope. I'm not sure. I mean, that's what it has the look of right now, because I feel like if the team would have already known if the player didn't fit in the plans or they wanted to move on, to your point, and this would have all come out 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. I just have a hard time believing that the team all of a sudden, like on April 14th, was like, let's talk about Jalen Ramsey and where he fits into our plans. If they were just having those conversations yesterday, then they are not very good organization in planning or looking at things. So that's why I say it has the look.
They probably did, bro. They probably did, to be honest, man.
The player has looked at things and all of a sudden says, I don't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. At a time when they're trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do with Tyreek Hill, who had an off-field incident last week, and that was the dominant storyline, and maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Jalen Ramsey. Maybe he's had enough Tyreek Hill. When Tyreek Hill publicly said, I don't want to be in Miami anymore, and they had players twisting themselves into verbal pretzels to make excuses for Tyreek Hill on locker cleanout day, Jalen Ramsey wasn't one of them. Jalen Ramsey may be a guy who says, hey, man, the guy don't want to be here. Why are you kissing his ass? Why are we doing this? Why are we looking the other way on this stuff? How much are we going to put up with here? The guy, because I look at it.
And Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill beefing, can't imagine it, man. But, hey, them boys, they seen Tyreek Hill probably at his worst before. They probably did. See him at his best. They probably had some fights in that locker room, but we will never know. There's no cameras in there. No cameras.
It this way. What we hear and see publicly is just a sliver of what the guy's like privately. And there's a chance that Tyreek Hill lets Jalen Ramsey know he ain't Jalen Ramsey no more. There's a chance that there's friction there between those guys, especially on the practice field, as Tyreek Hill zooms right by him. So I wouldn't be surprised if the team's decision to continue to circle the wagons for Tyreek Hill has caused Jalen Ramsey to say, get me the hell out of here.
I don't either. Something there, definitely. And I'll be interested to kind of figure out what it is here, but very odd timing for that caliber of player and for a team to be making this caliber of a move right now at this moment. Yeah, something's off kilter for sure.
Well, that's like top item as soon as we're done today. I'm going to figure out more about this contract, what was paid, when it was paid, what would be left, what the cap hit would be pre-June 1, post-June 1, and ultimately who's interested. I just have a feeling they're going to have a hard time finding a team that would react the same way the Rams did when he was available from the Jaguars, the same way the Dolphins did when he was available from the Rams. And again, it's astounding that they gave him that big contract to surpass Patrick Surtain last year, right after Surtain got to the high watermark for cornerbacks. And they didn't have to do it. They did it. And now it looks like it's over. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe.
Rebuild incoming, man. Rebuild incoming.
The NFL draft making its way here in just a little over a week. They're hoping that these rookies can help this team finally snap a 25-year playoff win drought. Of course, it's a new day and a new year for Miami. And after an 8-9 season, Miami's looking forward to getting back on the field and going to work. But first, they need the right tools to get back on track. Taking a look at some of the players they've added, like Zach Wilson.
Hey, both of y'all boys, count y'all days, dog. Count y'all days, dog. Every day shit looking worse and worse for you guys, man. Tua, you don't got Teron Armstead. Might be then you just lost Calais Campbell and Jalen Ramsey on your defense. You know what y'all boys gonna do now, man? Now y'all boys in the spotlight. Now y'all gotta show us how talented y'all really are. We're gonna see how talented of a coach Mike McDaniel really is with the talent that we got. We're gonna see how good of a quarterback Tua is. You know, we don't have the best O-line around him, but we're gonna see if he's gonna be able to perform with whatever we put out there for him. You're gonna have to perform regardless. If Patrick Paul come out there playing horribly, you know, you still gonna have to hold up, buy time in the pocket, throw that ball. You know, if you can't do that, we're gonna put Zach Wilson in. We're gonna see if he could play, even if Patrick Paul is bad. Maybe Zach Wilson could make something happen to the point where he could still throw the ball away. You know, so
James Daniel and Larry Bourne, just to name a few, but there's still some work to be done on this squad. Now with players like Teron Armstead announcing his retirement, Calais Campbell heading back to Arizona, and now they've announced that they're moving on from Jalen Ramsey.
It's never easy to replace a player like Jalen. He was a good player for us. He's a good player. He'll probably be a Hall of Famer here. But for the Miami Dolphins going forward, we feel like this is the best chance to help us win, not only just
yeah, y'all heard what he said?
to help us win, not only just this year, but in the future as well.
Grier didn't give us specifics on the decision, but said that this is what we believe to be the best for the Dolphins. Currently, the Dolphins have 11 picks in this upcoming draft. And
11, that's not bad, man. That's not bad, man. Y'all stay tuned. I will be on live all days of the draft, round 1 through 7. You know, covering all the Dolphin picks, man. Most definitely. Most definitely.
As it stands right now, the Miami Dolphins have the 13th pick in the first round. Now the draft will start on April 24th. Here in Miami Gardens, I'm John Barron.
You look like AI a little bit. You look like AI. I ain't gonna lie. And let's get back to Chris Grier, see what he has to say.
This moving on from Jalen, how recently did this come about? It doesn't seem like, just based on the free agency strategy, like you were making moves with the idea that Jalen was not going to be part of the team this year.
No, I think when you're talking through the off season and all these conversations we're having throughout the off season, you're still working and you try to prepare for scenarios. So, like again, this was a long discussions, many discussions, I would say, throughout the off season. So this wasn't anything we rushed to and just said today, let's do this. So we're prepared. If he's here, you know, we'll deal with it. And if he's not, you know, we'll adjust as well. So we feel good about where it is. It's never easy to replace a player like Jalen. He was a good player for us. He's a good player. He'll probably be a Hall of Famer here. But for the
No, he won't. He leaving the team. How you gonna be a Hall of Famer here? How?
Miami Dolphins going forward, we feel like this is the best chance to help us win, not only just this year, but in the future as well.
Chris, are you optimistic about Jalen being?
Fam, you're not gonna be here in the future, fam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Win right now. Win right now, and you trading away Jalen Ramsey is not gonna help you do that. Not gonna help you do that.
In a Dolphins uniform in 2025?
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, we're like I said, we're talking to teams. I've had some discussions with teams, and we'll see where it falls.
Is he unhappy schematically, or how he's used? Is that part of the equation here?
No, I'm not going to speak for Jalen and coaches. So there's just a lot of discussions we've had, and like I said, we'll keep those internally, and those stay between Jalen and myself.
The last time we spoke to you,
Strange.
we were pretty confident that Tyreek was still going to be
part of this team's future. Is Tyreek another piece that might be possibly moved during the trade or after the trade?
That is not anything that we're pursuing. Like I said, who knows? If someone wants to come and give me 2 first-round picks, then
Bro, you basically saying Tyreek Hill is available. That's what you saying. That's what you saying. You said if somebody come at you, throw you 2 first-round picks for Tyreek. Personally, I would do the same thing. If the Bills, even if the Jets, gave me 2 first-round picks for Tyreek Hill, here, take them. I'll happily take 2 first-round picks for Tyreek Hill. But Chris Grier, no, that's not going to happen. That's why he mentioned 2 first-round picks. If a team come at him for 2 first-round picks, you probably could get Tyreek Hill right now. You probably could. So hopefully a team is stupid enough to do that. Hey, if a team does that, I'm gonna like that team now. I'm gonna be a fan. I'm gonna definitely be a fan because that's a finesse. That's definitely a finesse.
we consider it. But as of right now, that's not anything we're pursuing.
Has anyone called about possibly trading for Tyreek?
No.
Lies. Chris Grier, why you up here lying, dog? Why you up here lying, Chris Grier? Come on, be for real. Be for real, Chris.
What?
Let me go
we
back.
consider it, but as of right now, that's not anything we're pursuing.
Has anyone called about possibly trading for Tyreek?
No.
I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. Highly doubt it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think.
What, in your conversations with Steve Ross, not just about Tyreek, but certainly including, Tyreek in the conversation, including Jalen Ramsey and the state of the team, what's his mindset? How would you describe it? How hopeful can he be that this team is going to make some noise in 2025?
No, he's been, and I'm not going to speak for Steve, but obviously when you do a lot of moves like this, he's aware, he's involved in the discussions on this. So he's supportive of what we do, and he leaves those football decisions to us. So he's aware of everything, but he's been good in all our conversations.
Chris, how much of an effort, pardon me, how much of an effort was made to re-sign Calais, and in the end, was it just purely financial considerations that led to him leaving for Arizona?
No, we had talked to his agent a couple times throughout the spring here in the off season, and we made him an offer, and ultimately he decided to go play for the team that drafted him. So happy for him. And
I wonder if that offer was more or less than what the Cardinals gave him. I wonder.
At the end of the day, he did a great job for us. We wish him well, and but we're excited for what we could possibly add here on our D-line here in the future.
With Calais departing, Teron Armstead retiring, this now with Jalen Ramsey, would you label this at least a soft rebuild or reset?
No, that word is not.
And I can't with Chris Grier, man. I cannot with Chris Grier. Teron Armstead gone, Calais is gone, Jalen Ramsey gone, Tyreek Hill, he might be gone. And you're not labeling that as a rebuild. But I understand how everything goes, man. They're not going to admit to a rebuild in front of a fan base. They're not. All hell going to break loose if you actually say that. So you just got to read between the lines with this team.
Not been brought up at all. We have a lot of really good football players on this roster still at some places that impact games. So that word has not been used at all. And our goal is to win this year and keep winning for sustained success in the future.
But going off of David's question, that's, multiple captains. It's more than like 30 years. I don't know the exact number of NFL experience. Are you confident that you have the leaders in place to, I guess, achieve the desired results in 2025?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. We do. And
No, you don't. No, you don't. I look through the roster right now with y'all. I look through the roster right now. Skylar Thompson, he not here. I heard Huntley, he could be signing with the Cardinals. That's what I heard. Tua, you know, you want to consider him a leader because he's the quarterback. Well, I wouldn't consider him a leader. Devon A-Chain, you know, he's a very good player, but sometimes good players don't have to be a leader. You know, it seems like Devon A-Chain, he's one of those guys. He's not with the talking too much. You know, Jalen Wright, it seemed like he's more of a silent person. You know, more of a silent person. Alexander Madison, I don't think he could lead a team. Probably the running back room, he probably can, but a team, nah. Let me see. Jeff Wilson, he not on the team. Alec Ingold. I'll consider him a leader, but what type of team are you? What type of team are you if your fullback is the main leader? Like, come on, man. I love Alec Ingold, but at the same time, we need a different leader. You know, Tyreek Hill, we hoping that he could be a leader since he's the best player on the team. But the off the field issues, you know, if you're going through all that Tyreek Hill going through, you wouldn't expect him to be a leader. You wouldn't expect that. Jalen Waddle, it don't seem like he's a leader type of guy. You know, he probably just leads by example. You know, competitive guy. You know, Malik Washington, second year in the NFL, no leaders right here in the receiving room. We want it to be Tyreek, but we can't say it's Tyreek because of the issues. Nobody else we could rely on being a leader in the receiving room. We got to have at least one leader in each room. At least one. You know, running back room, you could say Alec Ingold, I guess. You can. Let's check the tight end room. Jonnu Smith, you know, kind of a leader. You know, he definitely something that he had to work on, you know, coming out of college, but he's definitely a leader. Good leader for the tight end room. O-line, we don't have no leaders. No leaders. Aaron Brewer, you know, he might be a leader by default because he's a center. You know, you would imagine a center being a leader of the O-line. Patrick Paul, you know, he's still going to have to get acclimated, prove himself in the NFL before we could consider him a leader. James Daniels, maybe, but this is his first year. First year. Zach Sealer, we know he a leader. That's one person. That's one person. You could say Chubb, Jordan Phillips are leaders. I wouldn't say that, but, you know. Linebackers, Jordan Brooks, definitely a leader. KJ Britt has the potential. Tyrod Dodson has the potential. You know, outstanding guys. You know, Willie Gay has the potential. No more David Long. None of these guys on the team no more. Channing Tindall, I don't know where he at. Do not know where he at. But Channing Tindall, he definitely not a leader. Definitely not a leader. Jalen Ramsey, you know, we lost this leader. Nobody else is a leader in the cornerback room. Maybe Artie Burns turns into that, but I doubt that. I doubt that, man. So there's no real leaders on this team, man, that's going to be enough to help this team be successful. It's just not enough. Crazy.
Some of the players we added are quality human beings and people that have been leaders at other teams. But I do think in-house, when you have guys like Zach Sealer, just to name a few, like, I mean, you can say Tyreek, Waddle, Alec Ingold, Austin Jackson, the offensive line guys love, you know, those guys, they lead differently. You know, they're quiet guys and how they do it by example and stuff. So we feel comfortable. They know the expectations, you know, as we talked about at the post-draft press conference. Mike addressed that and what he told the team. And so Mike and leaders on the team have been meeting all throughout the offseason talking about things. So very excited for where it's going, and they know the expectations. And so looking forward to see how this group responds.
What is your response? What is owner Stephen Ross's response been to the most recent domestic incident police call involving Tyreek?
I would say our statement that we released, we probably cover it. I don't really want to talk about people's personal lives. I'm not going to speak for Steve, but Steve was obviously involved in putting that statement out from the Dolphins, so leave it at that.
Yeah, Tyreek grits. Tyreek grits. It seemed like them boys cooperating with the police, investigating. That's what it seemed like, man. Tyreek Hill, man, calm down, bro. Calm down. You about to lose your wife. You about to lose your job. Tyreek Hill, he always gonna have a job for sure. Always gonna have a job, but it seemed like his time in Miami is coming to an end very soon.
Want you to pull back on spending this year. It was pretty clear that you all did not participate in the high end of free agency, other than obviously the Daniels contract.
No. Steve has never given that. Steve wants to win like we all do, and he's a fantastic owner that wants to do and wants badly for the Miami Dolphins to win, as we all do. For us, it's in a salary cap era, you just can't keep when you have high-priced players, and you've seen it around the league, with other teams. So you make decisions. We have 10 draft picks this year for the first time with that many draft picks. So excited about that. But at the end of the day, it was just...
Hey, you shouldn't be excited about that, man. You might mess them up. You might.
We were just looking to sign some good players at prices that we felt comfortable playing, and that continues all the way through the draft and post-draft, as we've been in touch with a number of players as well still that we're still tracking.
How would you evaluate your draft history, the three biggest positions in need: corner, defensive tackle, and guard?
Yeah, I think defensive tackle.
Hey, I'm Crizio. I used Adobe Illustrator to bring my marketing project to life.
I think Christian's probably the biggest one. Last time we went early on a guy.
Christian Wilkins, he was a good player, but he wasn't that good, man. We definitely could have done better with that first overall pick that year. Shout out to my boy Vamos. Thank you for putting up on me. Much love, my boy. Get rid of the GY or the GM tomorrow morning. Hey, I'm praying that we do. I'm praying that we do, but I know it's not going to happen. This is his final rodeo. So enjoy this draft while you can. Enjoy it. Notice how the volume is down on the video is because he's capping. I know some reporters are in there knowing that Grier is capping on the podium right now. I can tell, man. Just by the way his body is, how he's standing, I can tell. Most definitely. Ken Scatterable time. Hey, so what? No Devon A-Chain, Martinez. I just watched his highlights. He seemed like a good player. Genty. I think another team gonna get him. Two of those dudes with A-Chain. Fire. I know we gonna get another running back to put in the room. We got 11 picks. We definitely gonna get another running back. Most definitely. Or right with them dudes, since A-Chain is wide receiver 1. A-Chain, he too small to be wide receiver 1. I let him be 2. I would let him be 2, not 1. Where is Dan Marino in all of this? Dan Marino, he don't want no parts, bro. He don't want no parts. Dan Marino, he know that he would have won a Super Bowl with the team that we got last year or the year before. He knew that he would have won a Super Bowl with us. He know it. Marino is for photo op purposes only. Yup. Our GM is capping and he don't even believe what he's saying. Hopefully he rehears this press conference to see what lies he told. Hopefully. Where is Dan Marino in all of this? I feel like he gonna come out the woodworks out of nowhere. Somebody gonna catch him at Publix, interview him, and ask him about the situation. That's what I feel like.
I think we've drafted a few guys mid or late who've, been okay. But Christian is probably the biggest one. Corner Xavier is probably the best one that I've drafted. We've had a lot of success with some late round guys and the Cater who's undrafted and stuff like that. Cam.
How y'all feel about his resume? the good players that they're asking him about, what do y'all feel about his resume? Christian Wilkins, Xavier Howard, Kiriko. Let me know in the comments. Let me know.
Smith needs to come through at the end of the day. He's got to stay healthy and be on the field. He has shown some flashes, but this is a very big year of him. He knows what's expected because you can't hold his hand and wait for him anymore. And offensive guard, I think the last time we really went were Austin and AJ. Austin and Rob Hunt, sorry. And Liam. They're probably the last three we've drafted, and they've all been players that have helped us win games here. And would I say I'm perfect? No, I'm not. I said there's no GM that's perfect, but working with our scouts and our coaches.
But at least try to be. You see what the Eagles are doing out there. Why can't you do it? What's so hard about it? What's so hard about it, man? Come on, Chris Grier. Make it make sense, bro. Please.
Coaching staff and what we're doing and the scheme that they believe in and finding the fits for players is always important, and it's been a pretty smooth process the last couple of years.
Where parent needs a corner guard and defensive tackle still unfilled, are you going to have to adjust? Are you willing to adjust your preferred best player available approach and consider more strongly players at positions of obvious need?
Yeah, it's always a balance with that, because it's sometimes the best players in need. Sometimes, like we've talked in the past, when I said, J.J. Watt, we had defensive players. If he's there, you got to pass on him. But, for us, it's the draft kind of aligns with a lot of the positions of need for us that people perceive and what's on our roster right now. So for us, we think at 13 there'll be good players there that will be NFL-ready players that are also filling needs. So if we choose to stay there, we'll have options, and if we move around, we'll take advantage of that as well.
Since the end of the last regular season game, Tyreek has said that I'm out, which I know that he's clarified. Jalen is, you've given him permission to seek a trade. That's two of your best players. That would seem from an outsider's perspective to be a red flag, indicating there could be in-house trouble. Would that be an accurate statement, wildly inaccurate? How would you classify that?
I would say, it's for people to judge. I would say wildly inaccurate, but that's me. I think Tyreek has shown that, he clarified that, and he has been here in the building almost every day in the off season. Working incredibly hard. He's been in touch with Robert Frentz, our new receivers coach, pretty much every other day. He's been working and doing all the things to show his teammates that this is where he wants to be.
It don't seem like Tyreek Hill getting traded. It don't seem like it. It don't seem like it. If he really is coming in every day, then it don't seem like it. And if the Dolphins are lying about Tyreek Hill coming in every day, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all.
As I told you when we met with him after the season, he wanted to be here. There was no indication. So he has been, in terms of when he's in the building doing everything, he's been great. Things happen with players. You see it around the league, and you guys have seen moves like this that have happened. So they happen for all various reasons, and people don't talk about them obviously because they're between the player and the team. But now there's no.
Do you really want to spend the rest of your life watching ads? Guys, just download Pi. It's a free Google Chrome extension, and it basically
internal people are trying to get out of here, and it's still, I think, the other way because people wanted to come back here. A lot of people that we did not bring back.
Chris, you've mentioned it a few times, but for the people who all they see of Tyreek is what he does on Sundays and what happens off the field, what makes you, Mike, the rest of this organization trust him as a leader, as a captain? What gives you trust in Tyreek Hill?
Big question.
Right. Well, I would say because when we're around him, when he's in the building and he's here, and we see how he works and everything, and how his teammates interact, because they voted him captain, and we know with them, but personal lives, people are always dealing with it, and I'm not going to speak on anyone's personal life or what's going on. So all I can do is judge.
Nah, go ahead, talk about the BMs. Talk about the baby moms, man. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Chris Grier.
For when he's here and when he's around the guys and the things he does, that shows us that he wants to be here and he's a leader. And those things he's done for the last 2 years here before last season. And so for us, very optimistic about him. People deal with stuff in their personal life, and and I leave that to them to handle until it gets to a point where we have to talk about it.
Chris, is your thinking that with Iffy and Ashton Davis and with Mick Morris and Elijah Campbell that your 2 starting safeties are in the building?
Yes, we feel good about those 3, and Elijah Campbell as well is back. So we feel like we have some depth there, but we'll keep looking to add as well as we will to every position.
Chris, Mike mentioned at the end of the season about, discipline and accountability. Some of the guys mentioned that too. Now we had Tyreek and what's going on with Jalen. Where do you kind of view the team's culture now and going forward?
No, again, it's when people are studying culture and talking about it, it's always interesting because it's you take snippets of what it is or what one person says, and you never know what people have going on. We feel good where it is. Like I said, Mike
just keeps on capping, man. He just keeps on doing it.
Like when he first came here, had his way of how he wanted to do things, and this has been a steady build of doing it to the way we want it done. And you've been around the guys, and so I'm not going to go into things, but we feel good where the culture is. Like I said, a lot of the leaders and players are involved in taking accountability for it as well. And so all the stuff we talked about at the end of the season has been great, and it's continued all the way through the offseason.
Will Patrick Paul be your starting left tackle, or do you intend to sign a challenger? And did you sign Liam with the thinking that he will again be your starting right guard, or just a swing guard and backup center?
In terms of Patrick Paul, yes, he will be our starter at left tackle and get the first crack at doing it. We signed Larry Borum, who we felt really good about. We really liked him in free agency. And Liam will come in and provide swing versatility. And
Man, this dude clueless, man. Clueless. He talking about Larry Borum and Liam Eichenberg like they Pro Bowl players. Like, be for real, fam.
He'll compete for a job, and he's not promised anything, and he knows there's going to be competition for it.
You, in past years, I mean, this is your 10th draft, you've generally filled most positions with players that you felt could not put you in a desperate spot going into the draft, addressing those needs. This year, completely different approach where you've left glaring holes on your roster. What created this change, philosophical approach? I know you've mentioned that you feel like it aligns with areas of strength in the draft, but I know you have 10 picks, but you only have so many premium picks.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I think it's
My computer restarted, man. Hold on real quick. My bad, y'all. I don't know what happened with my computer.
Thinking about starting your own business in 2025? Bluehost makes it easy to turn your vision into reality. Head over to bluehost.com.
And he knows there's going to be competition for it.
You, in past years, I mean, this is your 10th draft, you've generally filled most positions with players that you felt could not put you in a desperate spot.
All right, let me get to y'all comments real quick. There's a lot of comments, man. A lot of comments. Let me catch up. If that push didn't happen with Brady and Sean Payton, we could have won a Super Bowl at this point. Hey, you're not even lying. You're right, Christina. Definitely right. Tyreek Hill is getting traded to the Gators for Lagway. Oh, hell nah. Hell no, Vamos. You crazy. The New England Patriots are doing it right for a rebuild, and we doing it wrong. Something got to give. Not everybody in the AFC East going to be a good team. Not everybody. Even though it seemed like Dolphins going to be 2, now it seems like we're going to be 3 or 4. Christina, I doubt that, but the team should be stacked with talent. New England tripping. They trade Milton. We're going to see who the better quarterback, Milton or Drake May. Hopefully the Patriots made the wrong choice in regards to letting Milton go and keeping Drake May. Hopefully. The Fins need to go 1 and Q5, tank the season and get rid of this guy, Mike McDaniel. Rebuild from there. It seems like that's going to happen next year as soon as the season's done. Chris Grier needs to be fired today at noon. Hey, I'm going to look out for noon today, see if it happens. I'm praying on it. Chris Grier needs to be fired today. We froze. My bad, y'all. Imagine Chris Grier actually doing that during a Q&A. That would be funny, man. That would be funny. What up, brother? Small time Dolphin content creator here. Love the show. Stay up. Appreciate you, Frozen Film fan. Appreciate you. Anytime you want to hop on, we could do a little collab. Let me know, man. Always available. I subbed and commented, then it froze. We back on now. My bad, y'all. We back on now. After this, we got some prospects that we could bring into Miami that could replace the guys that we lost so far. Kendall Fuller, Jalen Ramsey, Jordan Poyer. We definitely downgraded at cornerback. Downgraded. So it seemed like at number 13, cornerback or safety, it seemed like a must at this point. It seems like it.
Spot going into the draft, addressing those needs. This year, completely different approach where you've left glaring holes on your roster. What created this change, philosophical approach? I know you've mentioned that you feel like it aligns with areas of strength in the draft, but I know you have 10 picks, but you only have so many premium picks.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I think it's for us, we feel good with our scouting staff and what we've done and our ability to be able to fill some holes with the free agency, like we've done with the guys we've added. The strength of the draft was a little bit of the reason where we felt like, okay, like we said, we're going to need NFL-ready players. Like it's not like there's no like, hey, let's hope this guy's ready. Like these guys are going to be forced into play, and that's a good thing. So we just have to be right on the person and the characters of the guys that we bring in here that they're going to do that.
So Chris Grier, no projects. Get solidified guys, put them in a room, guys that that's going to perform as rookies. No physical specimens. This year it seems like we can't pull off a Chop Robinson move. We cannot pull off a Chop Robinson move. We got to get somebody solidified who's going to make play for us.
So there was really no grand plan of doing it. It was just as we were looking through, because you really always look a year into the future, like when you're looking at like the quarterbacks evaluations, like who's the next class of college players. So you always try and get a peek of what the next year's draft class looks like in strength. So for us, it just aligned to where it made sense for us to invest in some younger players at those positions, and then we'll fill in the rest post draft through free agency.
Told us the team targeted.
So the draft going to happen, and then whatever holes we still have on the team, we will sign free agents. So shout out to Frozen Fan. He said we need to go into free agency, get Julian Blackman from Indy, Dalton Reisner, and guard Will Hernandez. We do that and go into the draft with a chance to fill needs. It seems like those guys are probably waiting for whatever NFL teams do with their roster, and if they see there's like an open spot to start, that's when they'll sign to NFL team. It just depends on how the draft falls. Some guys, they don't want to sign to a team, and then they still take somebody who's going to take their spot. But teams, most of the time, they do best player available, no matter if it's a need or not. So players are just sitting around waiting. Same thing with Xavier Howard. He's just waiting on the team to see who really will need a cornerback this year. That's what he's waiting for. I won't be mad at back-to-back CB picks, CB safety, CB. I wouldn't be mad at all, to be honest, because it's a need. Definitely a need. And it's this class is kind of deep at safety. Cornerback, not really. Will Johnson, that's one guy. We got Ravel from Eastern Carolina. I got a whole list of guys that we're going to go over today. Some guys that took a visit to Miami, some guys that I think that the Dolphins should keep an eye out for that we're going to go over. First DB that I really do like. First DB. I'm going to show y'all right here. Makuba, the Texas safety. Definitely a big hitter. For a guy who's only 186 pounds, 6 foot, definitely could lay the wood. Most definitely. Pretty good hit. His shoe came off. Bah! Right now we got no safeties, no cornerbacks. So we got to get BPA at safety/cornerback. Best player available. If the best player available is a safety, get the safety. If the best player available is a cornerback, get the cornerback. Simple. Yeah, Makuba, I think he's going to lay that wood, man. Bring that tenacity to this defense. Definitely going to bring that tenacity that we definitely need. Let me check out his high school page. Search that up real quick. Nope. I'm pretty sure he was a 4-star recruit, wasn't he? I think so. Yeah, he was a 4-star recruit. Where he from Texas? Okay, you're a Texas boy. Your recruiting profile. See, he not a big safety, but he definitely make plays out there. Definitely make plays. He enrolled at Clemson, but I'm guessing he transferred over to Texas. That's what it seemed like. I want to see his high school highlight real quick. See if he got anything on here. Yeah, he got his junior season. Y'all know
My
Admiral
skin,
play
she
first.
gets thirsty. So when I shave, it's the new Venus Moisture Glide. It's got 5 blades and bars with a touch of argan oil that lock in moisture. Feel the power of smooth. My skin, my way. Venus.
All right. I don't think y'all can see it. Okay. Oh, you play receiver too? Okay. Just him at safety. Good hit. You're a pretty good tackler. Oh, no way he's scoring this. Oh, okay. Yeah, he can play both sides. Okay, he like a Travis Hunter. Good tackle. Good shoelace tackle. You know, he got pretty good range out there. Pretty good speed. You know, he got very good hands for a DB. Very, very good hands. Look, he playing receiver for his team. Nice pick. Good awareness. Oh, good hit. Okay. You know, but one thing about Makuba, he went to Clemson, didn't play too well. Then he went to Texas, balled out of nowhere. Balled out of nowhere. Oh, this him on a kick return? Oh, he taking it to the crib. Excuse me. That's crazy, man. We gonna look at his combine profile. 5'11", 186, 30-inch arms. You know, like with a safety like this, you wouldn't be expecting him to hit like anybody in the NFL at this size the way he do. You know, so he definitely got heart in regards to being a football player. 4.45, pretty good time for him. You know, you 186. You know, I would want to see you in the 4.3s minimum at safety. You know, but the film doesn't lie, and the film shows that he's a good safety. And I think that he will be a good fit with the Dolphins. A very, very good fit. Keep a lookout for Andrew Makuba.
Win, so at the end of the day, it's our business. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, we are trying to win. So at the end of the day, it's our business. But you know, after the game, you know, we cool again. On my end, that's why I have a lot of respect for Coach Sweeney and just Clemson, the program in general, because you know, they took a young kid from Austin, Texas. You know, like you said, I've never visited campus at all. Never knew what
Wow.
campus looked like. My first day on campus when I moved in as a true freshman, and you know. And from the first day I moved in to now, well, to when I left, you know, those guys, you know, like I said, they took care of me. They made sure I was good at all times, and you know, they helped me come a long way, and they brought me along, and you know, and I really appreciate them for that. And, you know, that means a lot. You know, it was a lot that took in for me going in the portal. I just felt like I just needed a reset in my life, just all around, not just football, but just life in general. And you know, I felt like that was.
A shout out to Frozen Fan. He said that, yeah, they're waiting except Will Hernandez. He said that he wants to play in Miami. Oh, for real? Oh, for real? There's like an interview that he said that. Let me try to check that out real quick. I like Will Hernandez coming out of UTEP. I liked him. Yeah, dude, that boy is a hammer. You know, we need a hammer back there. Definitely need a hammer. Yeah, Makuba is righteous. He has ball skills too, and he gets next to no recognition. I'd be stoked to snag him. You know, third round, fourth round guy, if he's there, you know, I'm banging the draft tables, man. Let's get him. Let's get him.
Was the right time for me to make a move and try to find myself and find something to get me going, you know. And I believe I found that, and I found myself now, as you can tell by how I've played this year and what I've done this year, and you can tell the difference from the past couple years, you know. So, I mean, that conversation was tough, but you know, he was very understanding, and yeah.
Shout out to Makuba. Here we got another play. Makuba is right here. Let's check this out. Good range right there. You know, with Makuba, I would trust him at single high safety. I would trust him back there. You know, not all safeties you would trust single high, but Makuba, he's one of them. Definitely one of those safeties, man. Reminds me of Kirby Joseph from the Detroit Lions. You know, definitely a ball freak. You know, I think he had like 6 interceptions last year, Kirby Joseph, and I think that Makuba, he could be one of those players that's gonna come in, you know, probably get you a good 3 to 4 interceptions each year, minimum. I feel like he one of those type of players. You know, I don't think he gonna come in and be a Jalen Ramsey and get 10 in 1 year, but I think he gonna get you consistent interceptions. He gonna make plays on the ball to the point where we will be able to get the ball back to the offense a few times because of him alone. To be honest, man. But yeah, that's good range by him. Good job reading the quarterback, seeing where that play going. Definitely baited that one, man. Dude, look at that play. He took a bite on the snap in the wrong direction and still made it back and across to make the pick. Yeah, he's a special guy. You know, special guy. He could hit and he could read offenses like this. You know, he just naturally talented. Naturally talented. Hey, it was close though. It was definitely close, Frozen fan. Definitely close.
You know, I'm hoping to prove this week. You know, I'm hoping to prove that to myself really, but also you know prove to everybody that you know I'm the best safety in this draft. For sure, and I know guys come up here, you know, and say that, but you know I actually believe it and mean it. Prove this week.
Yeah, I don't know if he gonna be the best safety. He gonna be up there though. He gonna be up there. I feel like he gonna make plays as a rookie. I give him that. He gonna make plays, but I don't think he gonna be the best DB coming out this year. I don't think so, but it could be possible. He could be one of them ones, man. If he goes to the right situation, you know, he could have a good year. Could have a good year.
I met with all the coaching staff in there. That meeting.
McDermott.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I met with all the coaching staff in there. That meeting went great. You know, the Bills, you know, presented me a lot of things. You know, they talked me through a lot of things, and with my time in that meeting, I was able to learn as well too. So that meeting went good.
Is there any players that are
So he met up with the Bills, man. Met up with the Bills. We gotta make sure that do not happen. We gotta make sure he does not go to the Bills, man. I don't even think he want to go over there with all the snow and shit like that. Like, leave this boy alone. He want to be in the South. He from Texas. Right here, I got more plays from Makuba. Check this out. Bah! He look like Earl Thomas on this one. Bah! Helmet came off. Yeah, he was definitely hitting this game. Good run support. Boom. Laying that wood. Good tackle before the goal line. You know, he has a lot of power for a guy who's 186. A lot of power. Definitely not scared to hit, man. Seemed like a pretty good tackler. Good technique. Ooh. I feel bad for that quarterback, man. Bah! That might be an ejection in the NFL. That might be an ejection. Right here, I got some more clips of Makuba. He's up here. I know y'all can't see him. Good hit. Yeah, he does a good job just reading the zone. You know, he and Jadai Barron did a pretty good job locking down Jeremiah Smith. Pretty good job. Yeah, man. It just seems like he has an uncanny twitch to know where the ball going. Oh, he got that pick? Okay. Yeah, man. Like I said, he a good tackler, but he's 186 pounds, man. What you gonna do when Derrick Henry coming at you? What you gonna do? Here I got some more plays. He right here, Makuba. Good range on that one. Pretty good hips. Pretty good feet. Good ball awareness. Getting the ball out as well. I see that in his game. Good run support. You know, he could come in and do everything for you at safety, but you'll just have to want him to get bigger to join your program. You know, he definitely got to gain some weight. You know, getting at least 200, 210s. But make sure you don't slow down with it if you're trying to gain weight. But yeah, Makuba, I think he could be one of them ones, man, in regards to being a top 10, top 20 safety off rip. Top 10, top 20 in the NFL. Like he getting picks back to back to back to back to back. I know he's gonna do that in the NFL. I know it. Dolphins got to get it right in this draft. Hey, I don't know. I might have to call Chris Grier to make sure that he does that. REMV me of reminds me of the safety on the 49ers. Hufunga? Hufunga, he on the Broncos now. But is that the safety you talking about? DG pull up his game against Scatterbo Monster. I wish I could film, but YouTube, they probably won't copyright me. You know, I'm just doing portions. Just portions. He reminds me of the safety on the 49ers. Yeah, you gotta let me know what name. What, Jair Brown? Possibly. Possibly. All right. Another cornerback that the Dolphins should try to target is Benjamin Morrison, a DB out of Notre Dame. You know, I really like this guy tape. Really like this guy tape, man. Even though he's not the biggest of people, you know, I think he has like that upside to be probably the best cornerback in this whole draft class. You know, call me crazy if you want to, but I think Benjamin Morrison could do that. Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame. 21 years old. Let's check his draft profile. 6 foot, 193, decent arm length, 30, 80 production score. So the film don't lie. I don't see no combine numbers. Maybe he got injured. He didn't test. Most likely. Most likely. Let's see what school he from. He from Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona, but he decided to go all the way to Indiana and attend Notre Dame. But that's pretty cool right there, man. Seemed like education was important to him. Very important. Was a 4-star recruit coming out. Yeah, man, but the next step is the NFL. That is the next step, man. I do see him being a pretty good cornerback in the NFL. I do see it happening. He had Alabama, Arizona, Oregon, Washington. Crazy offers. Crazy offers, man. He visited Washington, Oregon, and Notre Dame, but he chose Notre Dame. He chose Notre Dame. But shout out to Benjamin Morrison. Definitely a guy that I think the Dolphins should try to, keep a close eye out for. I don't know where he could fall. Second, third round pick. But I think he could be a starter in the NFL. I think he could be a starter, most definitely. Right here, I got some clips of Benjamin. Let's check this out. He on the top right here. Good break on the ball. Good route stick. Pretty good acceleration to read the play at the right time. Pam! Lay that wood. Get your ass down, man. Look, he playing the outside. He can play the slot. Ooh, give me that good pick. That boy came off his man to make that play. Oh, excuse me. Ball going right here. Give me that. I would have taken that to the crib, man. Good coverage, pass deflection. I think that was Jerry Rice's son right there. Oh, that's incomplete? Okay. Good tackle. Right at the line of scrimmage. So he a good tackler too. Just not a good cornerback. Seemed like that was incomplete. Locked down Marvin Harrison Jr. But yeah, very good footwork, fluid hips. There's probably something wrong with Benjamin, but I can't really say anything wrong, man. His tape is very polished. Very polished. Oh, Malik Mustafa? Yeah, I do see that resemblance. Okay, now I see what you mean. Yeah, he definitely a hitter. Most definitely. Ben is a dog. Hey, Zion already know, man. Zion already know.
In this bucket in part because of the injuries, but if I knew he was healthy, I think he would solidly be CB4 for me above. I have him there anyway. I think his talent's fantastic. They ran a ton of man coverage up there at Notre Dame, and he excelled in it when he was healthy. It's really a conversation to me more so. I believe Morrison is the 4th most talented corner in this draft. Anytime he's been on the field, he's been fantastic. The injury and where you would draft him is a different conversation. There's a chance he's the 7th, 8th, 9th corner drafted, but I think healthy he's the 4th best one. So it's really a matter of balancing that. He's a press man technician. He doesn't allow explosive plays. I think that's a big thing for me, especially downfield. The tape at Notre Dame, especially the first 2 years when he was healthy, is just fantastic. Is Ben Morrison.
Hey, let's make that move, man. This could be the next guy to replace Jalen Ramsey. Could be. I'm liking what I'm hearing. Right here, I got another play of Benjamin Morrison going up against Marvin Harrison Jr. Good technique, looking at the ball, pass deflection. Give me that good pick. He got good route stick, man. No matter where the defender go, he right there to make a play. Right there. He's showing that he could cover NFL guys already in college. He's showing that. Them picks like they nothing. I just think there's a lot of upside with this guy, man. A lot of upside. And he could be there now that the Dolphins are letting go of Jalen Ramsey. He could definitely be an option. Let me see here. Next person we got is Siobhan Revel Jr., man. Crazy story about him. He was just working at Costco. Just working at Costco. Kid you not. Kid you not. And now he got the opportunity to join the NFL. A very talented guy, long limbed guy. I never seen a DB that looked as perfect as he does. He has the best the best features in regards to being a quarterback. The best features, man. I do got some clips of Siobhan Revel that we're gonna check out real quick. 1 second. I'll check that boy out real quick. 24 years. Check out his high school recruiting profile. Oh, you from North Carolina, Winston-Salem. All right, so it seemed like he went JUCO. Nothing was working after high school. 3-star recruit. He had Eastern Carolina. That was his only offer, but he decided to go to JUCO. But then he probably just went back to Eastern Carolina at that point. Strange. But like I said, I did mention that he did work at Costco before everything even started happening for him. So hey, shout out to him, man. While you at work, you found out that you could still be an NFL player. While you at work, crazy. Crazy. Right here we got his combine page. 6'2", 194, 32 and 5/8 inch arms. Beautiful stats right there. Beautiful. I wish he ran a 40 so we could see, but I heard that he would have ran in the 4.3s. 4.3s, over 40-inch vertical. That would have been insane for a guy like this, man. If you're just talking about physical traits alone, this is probably one of the best cornerbacks I've ever seen on film. One of the best. No lie about that, man. No lie about that.
I like Jalen Ramsey.
Right here we have Siobhan Revel talking about his favorite cornerbacks. Let's check this out.
Deion Sanders, Jalen Ramsey, Jari Alexander. I like Terrell. Number 5. I say Darius Slade just to put him out there. I like, but them first four, I really like them well. Deion Sanders, Jalen.
Hey, hopefully he can end up just like them boys, man. Hopefully. Right here we have him in run support. Let's check this out. If anything, I do like him as a pure replacement for Jalen Ramsey. I feel like it'll be a seamless transition and fit if we bring in a guy like Siobhan Revel. Good tackle. Okay, Revel. Okay, so he's just tackling back to back to back. So if you're an NFL team trying to get a guy like this, all right. Pretty good play by him, man. You know, if he wasn't tall, that would have never happened. This play right here. Like, I think this is him right here. Look what he does. He used his long arms to pass deflect that ball. Got in the way of that ball. Clutch moment. Yeah, man. Siobhan Revel, you know, I wouldn't spend our 13th overall pick on him. I wouldn't, you know, but if we trade back, I would target Siobhan Revel if we trade back. Right here, you have Siobhan Revel on the outside. Let's check this out. Boom. Oh my, beautiful. Insane play right here. Look, and he playing off as well. Good job reading this by him. Bam. To the career touchdown. Easy. Yeah, I don't know how you like 6'2", 6'3", you playing DB like this. It just don't seem like fair. It don't. Crazy world we live in, man. But hey, I wouldn't mind a guy like this being a Dolphin. Wouldn't definitely mind that, man. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about Siobhan Revel. Do you think he'll be a nice pickup? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know in the comments. Right here we have workout videos of Siobhan Revel. Let's check this out. Yeah, that would look like the Predator. Shoot, he working. He working.
Good, get up.
Yeah, it kind of makes you question his health in regards to him still working on it, even though the offseason is still in effect. We're going to see if he's going to be able to get healthy by this NFL year. And if he does, then we're going to see. Whatever team gets Revel, you getting an automatic starter. Automatic starter with Revel. Right here, I got another play. Siobhan Revel. Let's check this out. Nice little flea flicker. Yeah, we already watched this one. Already watched this one. Right here, I'm on the bottom. Not me, but Siobhan Revel. He right here on the bottom. They should come up. Nice back pedal. Good job recovering ground on that one. Man, just don't throw it his way, man. Okay, that boy playing cornerback too? Okay. Not bad. He still needs some polish. I ain't gonna lie. Still needs some polish. But he looked like he got potential to be a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. That's what he looked like.
In the top 15. For how tall Ravel from ECU, I would still take him in the top 15. For how tall, long, and easy moving he is the just prototype that you draw up. If I asked an NFL scout to explain to me, if you could pick the perfect corner prospect, what would it be? He has the ability to develop into an all-pro.
Here's the thing. Outside of Travis Hunter, he's probably the most gifted athlete of anybody on this list. I mean, he is well over 6'1". He's got long arms. He has legit 4.3 something speed. Like, the kid can run for days. And
that's like Jalen Ramsey type of vibes right there. You know, when Jalen Ramsey, when he was coming out, the same thing. You know, I don't think Jalen Ramsey faster than him, but Ravel probably got Jalen Ramsey by a few milliseconds. Just by a few.
Joe, the biggest thing is that, like, me saying that prototype, in your mind, you're probably saying, oh, maybe he doesn't have great hit fluidity. Maybe he doesn't have great change of direction. Yes, he does. Like, he does. He has incredible ability to get out of his pedal, turn and run. The hip flexibility is just, it's fantastic.
Ravel from ECU.
Yeah, them boys glazing, man. Them boys glazing. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Siobhan Ravel. Do you think he'll be a good fit with the Dolphins? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me see what I got for y'all. All right, so I let me see. I think I got 2 players left. Yeah, I believe it's 2 players. You know, we're going to get it over with. We're going to get it over with. Just 1 second. All right. I'm just trying to see y'all. Hold on. I'm just getting everything ready for y'all. Just hold on real quick. All right. Okay, I'm almost ready. I'm gonna put you on a brief hold. I'm gonna play the "we'll be right back" sign. I gotta go do something real quick, and I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Right back. Hey, I'm back, y'all. I am back. My bad. All right, let me see what I got next for y'all. Another DB that I do like for the Dolphins is Hunter Wohler. You know, he's not your average DB. You know, you don't really trust DBs like these. You don't. You know, but I think he could be a good player. You know, probably one of the hardest hitters in all of the NFL draft. You know, I got some highlights of him. We're gonna watch him real quick to see. You know, I don't know who I could really compare him to be honest. I don't really know. 6'2", 213, 30-inch arms. Not too bad. 4.57, so not the fastest of safeties. You know, he's more so in the box. Like, if you need that person who's going to be in the box, then this is your guy. You know, but I wouldn't leave him single high. You know, I don't think he has the range to do that. He has some range on him, but I don't think he has enough range to play single high. You know, he's more so of that Jamal Adams type of safety. You know, that Cam Chancellor. You know, I'm not saying that he is those guys, but I'm just saying based off how you would use them. That would be the best way. You know, 37 inch vertical. You know, that translates, you know, based off how hard he hits, you know, that vertical is definitely up there. Definitely up there, man. Y'all gonna be surprised by the highlights. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all gonna be surprised. Wait, let me go to his 24/7 sports real quick. Hunter Wohler, 24/7 sports. Let me see. Now we just gonna watch this one, and we're gonna watch his high school page. But right here we got him at 24 at safety. Let's check him out. Like he's spying. Going back in coverage, good range. I don't think he picked that one. That ain't no pick. But he got there though. Not bad for 4.57. Not bad. Ooh, good job on that one. See, good job flipping his hips. This against LSU too, so that's not bad, man. Good block shed, good hit. You know, he a dog. I'm not even gonna lie. Hunter Wohler a dog. Good hit on that one, man. You know, I was real impressed by his tape, so I wouldn't mind the Dolphins using a fifth on Wohler. You know, he might turn into that next Andrew Van Ginkel. You know, Andrew Van Ginkel came from Wisconsin. So, you know, he might ball out with the Dolphins if you get him. Might ball out. Right here, I got more plays. Bah! Yeah, he laid that hammer. You gonna feel it when he come. Definitely gonna feel it. Like, no way he come into the league and he not good. No way.
Badgers up 7, but Georgia Southern looking to tie.
Yeah, he a baller, man. A blind baller. For real. Right here, we got some in the box tape. This is him right here. I think we watched this one, if I'm not mistaken. Good block shed. Good TFL. You know, he gonna make plays in the backfield in the NFL. He's gonna make plays in the backfield for sure. So keep an eye out for him.
Just a pickup of 2, second down and 8. Hyman gets the carry, sees a wall of white, and he goes.
TFL after TFL, like he a good in the box safety. You could pretty much consider him a linebacker, to be honest. You can. But he could play safety. Here's his 40. Not the fastest of people. Not the fastest, but I wouldn't mind it. Like Harrison Smith, he wasn't that fast. I think Harrison Smith ran a 4.6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he ran a 4.6.
Where I would imagine, but between Hunter Waller, Jack Nelson, Joe Huber, I would imagine I might have read them in order where they're going to go. But do you think all three get drafted, and who do you think might get drafted the highest?
I would say all three definitely get drafted. I would expect Jack Nelson, I think, has a shot at the third round because the tackle class is not great after the first round. There's a drop off. That could be really good news for him. I'm a Joe Huber fan. I think his versatility on the interior of the offensive line is going to be valuable. But I am a huge Hunter Wohler fan. Any safety who hits like that, I'm going to be a fan of you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He has a shot. I would think late third, early fourth round is where I would expect his name to be called. Selfishly, I hope he's drafted in the fourth round so I can talk about him when he gets picked.
Yeah.
But for his sake, I hope he's long gone before I get on the desk.
But between Hunter Waller,
yeah, everybody love Hunter Waller now. Everybody love him. Everybody love him. But when you watch the film, you notice what everybody see with Hunter Waller. You notice him, man. Oh, what else I got for y'all? I think we got a Jeremiah Smith. Oh, no, I'm going to show y'all a player that came in for a visit today, I believe. His name is Chandler Brayboy. Chandler Brayboy. It seemed like he's going to be a special teams guy. Definitely seemed like he's a fast player out of Elon. I ain't never heard of an NFL player coming out of Elon. Never heard of it. Let me play this play real quick. He's not bad, man. Catching blurs. Hey, Tyreek Hill, this might be your replacement. This might be your replacement, Tyreek. I ain't gonna lie. But let me search him up on Google. Let me see here. Chandler Brayboy. Seems like he don't got no 24/7 sport. Oh, that boy got a huddle. See, look. He said 40-yard dash, 4.36, vertical 36, bench 285. That boy not playing. There goes 24/7 sports. Let's check that out real quick. Elon, he from Pembroke, North Carolina. 0 stars. 0 stars. Okay. Interesting. The fact that he got a top 30 visit with the Dolphins, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But he got good film, though, based off what I've seen. Pretty good film. Here we got a little clip of him at one of his games. Let's check this out.
Yeah, he lost 4 straight, and then it 0-2 in the conference.
Yeah, this is a kick return right here. Kick return. Look at him. He moving. Spin move. Ooh. He gone. Touchdown. Easy. Yeah, he like that for real. Yeah, he raw. So I understand why the Dolphins brought him in. I understand based off the highlight. Here's another one with him moving, moving, moving. Yeah, he gonna be a special teams ace, man. And so it seems like the Dolphins they're trying to find somebody for special teams. So that's why they brought him in. He not fast, but he moving quick. He got a nice little spin move on him. I like that. That little spin move. Here's another play. I think he on the outside right here at receiver.
Third and 4. Downing throws, finds
Easy
Brayboy.
touchdown.
Touchdown, Phoenix.
He look like Zay Flowers a little bit to me. Zay Flowers.
Brayboy, he comes all the way across the formation. Aggies handing off players. Brayboy all.
But I do think he'll be like a UDFA type of guy that we'll bring in for competition in our room, probably. My bad, y'all. My computer restarted again, man. Wow. Hold on real quick. Let me get everything set up back. Hold on. Okay. All right. This computer keep playing with me. All right. Let me try to find where we was at. Yeah, I think we watched this one. Yeah, we watched this one. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, we good. We good. If y'all still up with me, I love y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. I love y'all, man. But yeah, we have. Um, I need a reminder of his name. Chandler Brayboy. He like another Zay Flowers. But he dancing just like him too. You know, a nice little camp body. Maybe he could earn a roster spot with the Dolphins. Maybe. Who knows? We gonna see. We gonna see. Right here, we have him on the outside. Brayboy. Yeah, he looked like a 4-4. A good 4-4. Where is Elon at? Good job finding the spot. He not doing nothing after the catch. I don't like that right there. Okay, he tried on that one. Okay. Okay, good catch. Okay. They use him in the slot a lot. You know, but Dolphins, we got enough slot receivers, man. We have enough, but he a good guy. He seemed like a good guy. He seemed like he should be in D1. That's what it seemed like. Nice little motion. Ooh, nice play. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, not a bad guy, you know, but I don't know about bringing him in for a top 30 visit. I don't know about that right there. I do not know. Let me go to his Twitter real quick, see what he's working with. Put Psalms 27:1. I like that right there. I like that. North Carolina, USA. Okay, so it's in North Carolina. Okay, Vikings brought him in for a visit. Okay, and he reposting it too. This a workout video of him. Yeah, he seemed like an easy mover, man. Easy mover. That's him and all his boys. Okay. So he probably just had a pro day or something like that. Okay, so he was the leading kick returner in the FCS. Okay, so yeah, he just seems like a special teams guy. You know, but if he shows something that that we could use in offense, then we'll put him in at receiver. But we're gonna see what happens on draft day. You know, draft day is next week. We're gonna see what happens there. We're gonna see. I got another player for y'all. I did Hunter Waller. I did Makuba. I did Benjamin Morrison. I did Chevelle Ravel. wanted to talk about that Jeremiah Smith. I see that he met up with Donald Trump. Let me see.
I shouldn't say this, but the coach was giving Jeremiah some major praise backstage. I said, so what's the future? He said, well, we have a guy, he may be the best ever. That's a lot to
Wow.
think about. Where's Jeremiah?
Jeremiah said he's scared, man. He from the crib. He from the crib, so this look crazy a little bit, but you know, Jeremiah Smith, he's like that, man. Only a freshman. Only a freshman. We got Donald Trump showing him love, man. He an inspiration, man.
The coach was giving Jeremiah some major praise backstage. I said, so what's the future? He said, well, we have a guy, he may be the best ever. That's a lot to think about.
Yeah, he might just be. Might just be.
Come on. Let me see you make it. Come on.
Yo, Jeremiah got more money than me.
That's wild, bro. Brandon Marshall, he been in the league for over 10 years. And Jeremiah Smith already got more money than him. And he's only a freshman in college. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yo, Jeremiah got more money than me.
That's wild, man. But Jeremiah Smith, he doing it, man. He doing it. Like I said here, look, Dolphins, make sure you get Jeremiah Smith when he eligible for that draft, man. I'm not playing around. I am not playing around. It seemed like Tyreek Hill, he out of here. He out of here. So we got to make sure we get that replacement. This is like 2 Tyreek Hills, to be honest. 2 Tyreek Hills, bro. Definitely going to come in, be a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Right now, he probably a top 10 receiver in the world. Top 10, man. So Jeremiah Smith, he is definitely like that. Look, this is him at practice, up topping people like it's nothing. A 5-star DB, number 7, 5-star. Look, give me that. Like, come on, man. He should have been a 6-star coming out of high school. He should have been the first 6-star, to be honest. Come on, all you gotta do is throw it up to him. Easy. Just like that on the game, man. Just like that on the game. NCAA. Like, how do you cover him? To be honest. How?
I shouldn't say this, but the coach was giving Jeremiah some major praise backstage. I said, so what's the future? He said, well, we have a guy, he may be the best ever.
Oh,
that's a lot to think about, Jeremiah. Just be real good. Don't be Jerry Rice, right? Who's your favorite? Jerry Rice. Yeah, Jerry Rice is a great guy, too. But Jeremiah was the only freshman that was just at a level that few people have ever seen before, according to what I hear. And nobody could stop him all year long, even as a freshman.
Man, he don't know nothing about sports, man. Donald Trump, stop playing, man. Donald Trump, stop playing. For real. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream right here, man. I got work tomorrow in the morning. I definitely gotta get to that. I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Maybe some news happens. Who knows? And catch me on Thursday with my boy Iceman. We definitely gonna pull off a stream like this again on Thursday. So please be here for that one. Please be here. Appreciate all y'all who's still here. You know, y'all can go to sleep now. Close your eyes, get y'all rest. Y'all gonna be good. And appreciate everybody who pulled up. Dayon, Zion. I think Raphael pulled up. Frozen Fin Fan, Billy, Christina. Appreciate you for pulling up on me. I Rock. Let me see. Stainless Jogger. Everybody, man. Everybody. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And on top of that, y'all go get that merch. DGmerchandise.com. We got some new merch dropping probably next week. I'm going to post it on my YouTube, on my Twitter, so y'all can see it there. Please support the channel. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. DG.